What's good, Slap City family? Hope everybody had a great holiday. I'm currently recording this breakdown in my nephew's closet. You gotta do what you gotta do. Today I'm gonna go over the Pono versus Cooper Housley fight from Power Slap 10. So this was a good fight. This was the opening fight on the actual main card. So anytime you're in that position, you really want to deliver in an exciting way. Honestly, even if you're on the bad end of it, like you just really want to be doing your job. And in that case, it's to start the card off with a bang. I was here. For those who don't know, I was at Power Slap 10, so I was literally in the arena, and I can attest to the fact that the place was absolutely jumping. So from an entertainment standpoint, it certainly delivered. So yeah, anyway, with that said, Cooper won the coin toss, so he was slapping first. One thing I noticed about Cooper on his slap, well, there were a couple things I noticed on his slap, but first and foremost, he went right on one here. Now, I could be wrong, and I should have gone back and looked at this, but I just don't have time right now, man. He went on one, and I want to say he was going right on three in his last fight. Again, I could be wrong, but regardless, he went right on one here, and I've always said that I think that you get a little bit more power when you go on one, but I have said that I think, in my opinion, you lose some accuracy. So in a heavyweight match where both guys have big power, I just didn't think that the power was going to make as much of a difference as the placement in this particular matchup. So yeah, I wasn't crazy about the right on one. All right, so first thing, and this was a big thing. I'm going to stop it right here. So look at Pau. Look at how much his face is pointed down. So one thing about Pau in this fight is he had amazing defense. Obviously his slap won him the fight, but I mean, I would say that his defense won him the fight, because if he didn't eat this slap, there was a chance that he didn't even get to throw a slap. So I personally think that his defense won here. And so I want you to pay attention, because this is what I like to call the fight before the fight. So on defense, you're not allowed to tuck your chin. Like, it's a rule, but it's not a foul. So there's a big difference between a rule and a foul. It does say that you cannot tuck your chin, and it's a rule, but it's not a foul. So in certain cases, like in the Dumpling fight, when Dumpling wouldn't lower his shoulders and Herzog was continuously saying to lower your shoulders, eventually it got to the point where he said, "I'll take a point if you don't listen to me." Now, in that case, it could potentially cost you a point, clearly, but it's technically not a foul, so it's just a rule. So you really should be pushing the limits to see what you can get away with, and that's exactly what you did here. In fact, we're going to go into it, because this was a big deal, man. So yeah, anyway, look at how much he starts. So this is basically a negotiation, like in business. Anybody that knows negotiation knows that you don't want to start where you want to be. You want to start asking for more than you want to have that leeway to eventually end up where you want. Anytime, whether you're trying to buy something, whether you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to sell it, you'll be asking for more than you're willing to take. So in this case, Pau's going to start ideally where he would even past where he expects to be, as much as he possibly can. I mean, obviously he can't put his head through his body, so this is as much as he can possibly go. And he's starting here to eventually end up somewhere in the range of where he wants to be. Yeah, anyway, look at how much he's pointed straight down. Now watch. You'll see he's saying chin up here. He's fighting him. Like, he clearly has his hand on his chin, and Pau hasn't even moved yet. So this is where it starts. This is the fight before the fight. All right, now stop it here. You see, he just pulled his head up a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, stop it here. So you'll see he moved it up a tiny bit, and Pau is he's kind of pushing back a little bit, not a lot. They've been going at it now for at least a few seconds, and he's barely moved at all. So Pau is winning this fight right now as far as where he's able to put his chin. And Taione, not traditionally the most strict ref. All right, so he lets it go here. That's still a solid chin tuck. And if you look, he goes back to him again, because Pau's slowly moving back down when he's not looking. It's, again, just amazing defense here. Now he lets him go. He says, "Don't move." Okay. Now look at where Pau ends up. Like, look at where he ends up here with his head tilted. This is ideal. if you're taking a slap. You want your head pointed down, not up. And if you look at and just try to envision what straight at Cooper would be, he's winning this. Like, his head is tilted down. So he ends up fighting him the whole way, fighting the ref the whole way, and then landing in a spot that's advantageous to him. So again, just great job. So with that said, let's get into the slap. So again, Cooper right on one. Okay, decent shot there. Pau just waves it off. It looked either like a club or there was some movement. In real time, I couldn't see this because, I mean, I had good seats, but you just can't see without the replay. You can't see that little of a movement. Pau spikes it. Good job by Pau trying to play it off. Exactly what you want to do if you listen to my videos. It's all about how you take the slap, receive the slap, and give the slap. Yeah, you'll see they called the foul there for flinching. Pau didn't like it at all. Look at him pointing to the screen. He didn't like that at all. And in real time, when I looked at it on the screen, I didn't like it either. But we'll take a closer look at it because I ended up kind of coming full circle on it. So anytime there's a flinch or a flinch that wasn't called that, you know, people think should have been called, we'll always take a look at it, and I'll use my lines as an indicator because it really does help you gauge movement, and if so, how much. So that's what we're going to do here. You'll see that I put a white line through Pau's eyes as an indicator, so that we'll know and be able to gauge if you moved and how much. And so if you've seen my stuff in the past, you'll know that this is something that I like to do. All right, definitely some movement there. You'll see that I started it in Pau's eye, and by the time it's done, you can definitely see his eyes. Now, again, in real time, I didn't like this call at all. I thought it was pretty soft. It wasn't until I put the line here that I really kind of came full circle on it. So, I mean, you're allowed some movement when you brace, but you can't move to the point where it impacts the power of the slap. So I think that Cooper missed deep anyway. Like, typically when you move down, it's going to make you miss high, not deep. So I think that Cooper was a little bit off on his slap anyway. But I do think that, like, I don't think it was a horrible flinch, but I don't mind the call here. Coming full circle on it. Again, in real time, I thought it was pretty soft. But after using the line and seeing exactly how much he moved, I think that this was a fair call for Cooper. So Cooper gets the slap again. He's going right on one again. Again, good solid chin tuck. There was no fighting on this one. Tyone didn't even try on this one. So I think that, honestly, that's just proof that, like, it worked. Like, Tyone was straight up sick of arguing with him. So he was like, you know what, dude, just do your thing. I mean, what else is it? He clearly was making a move on the first one, and then on this one, it just seemed like he kind of gave up there. Okay, good shot from Cooper. Pau's able to eat it, and Pau immediately calls him a bitch. I was a little surprised about that just because of how respectful Pau always is. But, man, when you're getting hit in the face, anything goes. So, yeah, calls him a bitch, spikes the foam down on the ground, plays the slap off. Good job by him. Even though I doubt he expected this to go to a decision, you still want to be playing the slaps off. That's half the criteria. So good job from Pau there. Goes over, hugs Trujillo. Let's take a closer look at the slap. Boom. Good shot from Cooper. Wasn't a bad slap at all. I think it was a good slap. Pau just was able to eat it, and he had good defense. So you'll see I got the green lines for the target area, and then I have the green dot for the button. Or I just want to qualify. This is what I perceive the button to be. Like, there's no definition for on the button. Like, this is my opinion of the button. So that's the green line. And then the green target area. Again, you'll notice that Pau's chin was tucked a little bit. So we have to take that into account when we factor the target area. Like, the target area kind of seems smaller here because the way that it's angled is visually is going to make it look smaller, even though it does there is length that isn't taken into account really from this angle. But anyway, let's look at it. Okay, stop it. Yeah, so you'll see. I mean, dude, right on the target. I have the white dot for where the meat of his hand lands, and so you can see in reference to where I perceive the button to be, it was a little up. Definitely a clean slap. I mean, look at the target. His hand's right in there. So yeah, I think he just came in a little bit above the button. It was a good, solid slap, and Powell was just able to eat it. So I don't really think that it was anything that Cooper did wrong on offense. It did kind of seem like he was taking a little bit off of it. I don't know if it had to do with his last match, where he basically had that match won and then ended up fouling on the last slap to draw. Maybe he was a little bit worried about the accuracy, and he did miss deep on his first slap, part of which because Powell moved a little bit, but he did miss deep on the first one, so maybe this was an adjustment, trying to take a little bit off it and really get back that accuracy. Who knows? That's purely speculation on my part. But it was a good slap. It was a good slap. Yeah, he gets through it. Powell's face, I mean, you could tell he felt it, but, I mean, he just completely brushes it off, calls him a bitch. So good stuff there from Powell. And then, okay, so they show this angle. Look at Powell, dude. As if taking a slap from Powell doesn't suck enough. Now you got to watch him talk to the gods. I mean, dude, look at this. Like, imagine being Cooper right there. Looking at Powell. He's up there talking to the gods, letting them know what he's about to do. And, yeah, this is just a pretty epic shot here. Not going to lie. Look at Tyone even fucking staring at him like, what the hell is this guy doing, dude? And Cooper, I mean, dude, standing there like a boss. I'd be shitting my fucking pants, dude. All right. So let's take a look at the defensive stance from Cooper. I don't mind it. He has some flex in the knees, which is good. You really do need the flex of the knees to avoid buckling. But yeah, decent stance there from Cooper. I don't mind it. He wasn't fighting a chin tuck at all. It's tough to tell with his beard. Like, he looks perfectly square there. So ideally, like, this is where they want you to put your chin. So in that case, maybe he should have tried to tuck it a little bit. And I think that the beard can honestly help you tuck your chin. So I would have liked to have seen him try to tuck his chin a little bit more like Powell did. I think it only could have helped here. So Powell, the classic Hawaii lean on one. Cooper's face, dude, he bites down. Boom! Bro, that was, I mean, look at it. I mean, the place went nuts when this happened, man. Absolutely nuts. I love the celly. Love the celly from Powell. But yeah, gnarly knockout here. Let's take a closer look. Okay, one thing that I noticed that I wanted to go over with Powell's slap is watch mid slap. So we'll start it and we'll stop it. Okay, so he's in his slap, not quite mid slap, but he's started his slapping motion. And so I want you to look at this. I'm going to bring in the road to the title. All right, so look at his mid slap from road to the title. Look at where his eyes are pointed. His eyes are pointed at the ground. Okay, they're pointing at the ground. He's mid slap. Like this, there's no wind up. He doesn't take a wind up. So he's not even looking at the target on road to the title. Now bring back in this one. Boom. Look at where his eyes are. Look at where his eyes are. His eyes aren't even on Cooper. His eyes are on Cooper's chin. I really did notice that, and he hit right on the button. So whereas in his fight on road to the title, I thought he kind of just purely got away with pure power as far as like not landing right on the button, but still getting the fucking KO. But anyway. Boom. Boom. Yeah, you see his hands go up. That's the body's natural reaction when you go unconscious and you're about to fall. It knows to do that. Look at the pure force behind this slap. And again, his eyes do not leave the target the entire time. Yeah, there was just nothing Cooper could do there, man. That's just an absolute fucking hammer. But yeah, anyway, happy holidays. Happy New Year. If I don't speak to you,